athletes, welcome to Left Coast Invitational Mobility Advice from Dr. Theresa Larson with Movement RX. So event number one for you individuals is a surprise, so I'm not going to give you any insight into that. But number two, so we've got a 10-minute AMRAP, and it involves burpee box jumps, pistols, goblet squats if you're in the scale division, sled drags. So what I'm going to talk about is basically the hardest positions to hold, which is the pistol position, right? You're going to be using weight, that pistol position, so you really want to maintain that extra rotation of that hip and foot as you do the pistol, right? So the biggest thing I want you to practice, warm up, is unloaded, good, pistol, maintaining extra rotation of your hip, all the way down, okay? All the way down to the bottom, 4 range of motion, and all the way up. Really trying to keep that knee just right outside that pinky toe, okay? Next thing you're going to focus on, toes to bar. Toes to bar, oftentimes the common fault is that people have a local flexion, so basically local flexion extension fault. They hinge in their low back. Your vertebral disc will not like you if you do that. So you need to develop a strong kipping practice where you have a local flexion extension moment, where you're hinging off of one joint, your whole body is moving as one joint, and or be able to control that flexion to extension moment, so you're not flailing and overextending in your low back. All right, so that's something you need to practice with your coach. Next thing with the toes to bar is grip strength, right? So how do you do with thumb over the bar or thumb underneath the bar? All right, so make sure that with the thumb under the bar, you're gonna have a pretty good grip. You're gonna be able to open up your shoulders a little bit. Just make sure you're not dumping forward. So my advice to you is practice your thumb around the bar so it can keep you from, one, falling off the bar, and it will open up your shoulder a little bit, but not letting you dump. So make sure your shoulder does not dump like this into internal rotation. Keep that elbow locked out. Thumb around the bar opens up the shoulders, all right? So that's the things with the toes to bar that you should think about. With the sled drag, biggest things physics-wise is to be able to get low, right? You're gonna have to get low. You're gonna have a strap around either your midline, your shoulders, and you're gonna be running. And you're gonna be engaging a lot of this hamstring, calf, butt. And the key is to stay pretty low so you can take that, so there's not as much friction on the bottom of that sled. So the thing is that you need is hip flexion, right? You wanna have more access with that posterior training if you have greater access to your hip flexion. So what you're going to do is you're going to get down on the ground. Knee is right over top of your butt. You're going to sink your body around that glute. And just kind of hang out, find your tight corner, take your body up into more flexion as you tolerate. All right, so this is kind of the position of my knee drive with the sled drag. And I'm just going to hang out here. I can bring my foot out or in, kind of focusing on internal rotation to external rotation bias. I need both when I'm running, but I'm just going to hang out here for a couple minutes. And then you can kind of retest with, all right, the march test, all right, driving your knee up. How much further can you get on one side versus the other? And that's going to give you greater access, allow those levers, posterior chain levers, to work even more efficiently, greater work capacity, which is important in a competition and in life. Who knew? So event number 3 coming soon.